imposter syndrome as, well, I'm saying that I'm not good enough, or thinking that somebody's better than me, or thinking that only some opportunities I'm supposed to experience. Well, hey, my name is Andrew E. Guy, and I work with high performance individual to help them set healthy boundaries so they can protect the things that are most important to them. Not only that, so they can have a fulfilled life without sacrificing self, chasing after success. Now, today I want to talk to you a little bit about this imposter syndrome. And for high performance individuals, they may not know that they're experiencing this syndrome. They may not even know that it's happening to them until it's either too late or something catastrophic happened. So I want to break this down and give you some steps that you can use to help to fix this imposter syndrome, not once and for all, but it will help to give you a proper coping mechanism so you can manage and self regulate better. How you like that? All right, let's go. So the first thing that I want you to think about is, if you're here for the first time, I need you to subscribe. If you are not a family or a tribe, want to encourage you to subscribe. Subscribe to this channel so we can give you some information that's going to help you. My focus is high performance individual. Most people say, what is a high performance individual? A high performance individual is an individual who is responsible, who other people report up to. You could be a CEO, a C-suite individual, a corporate individual, or a person that is responsible for other individuals. Now, when I say that, people say, "Well, Andrew, what do you mean by that?" So, I'm a person that stays at home. Can I be an high performance individual? Absolutely. So, how does that work? A high performance individual have to make sure things are in place. Without that high performance individual, then everything that falls underneath that person will suffer. Okay, for example, high performance, when you think of high performance, think of the head versus the rest of the body. If the head is not okay, then the rest of the body suffers. Does that make sense? So when you think of yourself as a high performance, you have to be okay. But here is the problem that most people face. Society says a high performance individual cannot have a bad day. They have to be always on point. Every time they show up to the mount, they better hit a home run. A high performance individual have to be on all the time. They can't get it wrong. They have to know everything. Well, I want to let you know that is not so. A high performance individual does not have to have it all together. And this is what I'm going to break down. This is what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to give you some strategies. I'm going to give you some strategies to help you to deal with this imposter syndrome that is robbing so many people of the quality of life that they can have. If you're just tapping in for the first time, I need you to go ahead and subscribe. If you're not a family, if you're not a tribe, I need you to subscribe. There are some things that I'm going to be tapping into that's going to help you as a high performer to raise your game to the next level. The first thing I want to tap into today, I want to talk to you about is, what is a syndrome versus a symptom? A syndrome, I want you to think of it as a mutual fund. A mutual fund with a basket of different stocks inside of it. Mutual fund with a basket of many stocks that are inside of it. The next thing I want you to think about is a symptom. A symptom could be one stock. Let's say, for example, you have an Apple stock. Let's say you have Microsoft stock. So it's a single thing. It's the presenting issue. A person may show up and they may feel sick. A person may show up at work and they feel lethargic. A person may not feel motivated today. But that may be a symptom. A symptom is one presenting issue. The other syndrome is a basket of issues that are happening that are affecting that person's performance for that day. Does that make sense? So a lot of persons say that, Andrew, I have imposter syndrome. So when I think about imposter syndrome, I want you to think about this book here, for example. By the way, I need you to go ahead and check out my new book here, The Work Mindset. The Work Mindset is a book that I just released, just like last year, something just right at the start of this year. This book is going to help you to deal with some of the issues that you're having, especially when we talk about imposter syndrome. When we talk about work, it's abbreviation for willingness, obligation, reliability, and knowledge. Knowledge about yourself. A lot of people struggle with this imposter syndrome because they don't have proper knowledge of themselves. They know a lot about a whole bunch of other things, but they really don't know who they are. Self knowledge is one of the greatest discoveries that you can ever have. In this book, it's broken down into prompts, it's color coordinated. It's not your typical journal where there's a blank page and you just have like a cover. It goes into depth, giving you information, giving you content that you can use to help to reset that mindset. So let's jump into this mindset thing now. Many people are struggling with imposter syndrome because of this number one thing. We call it the comparative mind game. The comparative mind game is when you, as an individual, compare yourself to other individuals. Now, think about it. When you were born, all those other individuals were not around, but somehow we fall into the trap that we should compare ourselves to other individuals. Why? Because of where they live, what they have, what they're doing, or the people that they associate themselves with. I want you to understand that you need to see you as an individual. I want you to look at my hand here. There are four fingers, one thumb, five phalanges. And when you look at this, you have to understand that each of them have a purpose. And in order for me to grip something or to grip a pen, each of them have to come together. Each of these come together to make sure that I can grip the pen. Not having proper knowledge of yourself will cause you to always compare yourself to others. Here is the number one way that they do it. They say good, better, and best. I want you to think about that for a second. Let that sit with you for a minute. When was the last time you saw somebody doing something and said, "Oh man, he's really good"? Or when was you last time you see someone doing something and say, "Man, he's the best"? Or he's better at that. I want you to understand that you're literally putting yourself in a box by comparing yourself to other people. Here is the trap that those people who live a comparative life. They say, "I'm not good enough." They say, "I'm not good enough at that, Andrew. I'm not good enough. I wish I were better at that." And when they get better, I'm going to work hard at it. And then till I can become the best. And when they become the best, they feel like they're at the top of their game. Then one of these days, something happened where they lapse back into thinking that, well, I'm not really good enough, or I'm having all of these successes, but I really don't know if I deserve to have these successes. Right? So that's how that imposter syndrome will kick in. So remember, imposter is like, this is my hand. The imposter is when I have something in front of me. This is you. This is an imposter. When you say, "I'm not good enough," this is you. "I'm not good enough." This is you. "I don't deserve that." This is you. "That's too good for me." That's the imposter that imposes itself, and it's a thought process. I want you to understand it is a thought process that you can get over. How do you do that? The first thing you need to understand is have an awareness of self. Who am I? Where am I? Where have I been? What are my skill sets? What are the lived experiences that I've had over the years that make me who I am today? When you start to think about those things, when you start to reflect on those things, it changes the landscape. It changes your mindset on how you see yourself in the world and how you want people to see you. Will you have the battles of comparing yourself to other people? Yes, you will. You're human. It's going to happen. You're going to see someone do something. You're like, wow, that's amazing the way they did that. But here's the trap. Never go and say, "I wish I could do just like that person." Never say, I wish I can be like that person. Never see someone have something and said, I wish I had what they had. The reason why that is not the proper mindset to have is because their lived experience is completely different from yours. You might not have been through those things that they've been through. You might not have been through those difficulties. You may not have had those setbacks that they've had. So, how can you have what they have right now? You may not have had to sacrifice or have to undergo the sacrifices that they have been willing to go through. So, you can't have what they have. And society says, I see someone with having something that I like, maybe I should go and strive to get that thing. You see a person in a career that they're enjoying, you say, well, maybe I should go after that career. What you're doing is comparing yourself instead of having a proper understanding of who you are, your skill set, your tool set, and align that with the proper mindset so you can have the right outcome. I'm encouraged today. I want you to be encouraged today as we move forward. Every other week, I'm going to be coming on here live just to give you some information to help you as a high performer so you can know who you are, have a proper awareness of yourself and what you're created to do, your gifts, your skills, and how you show up in the world, and never compare yourself to anyone else. Never, ever, ever compare yourself to anyone else. And here is the number one thing I want you to get as we wrap up. If you're traveling between Canada and the United States or internationally, but let me just use the United States for an example. When you go to the border, then you know you have to do like fingerprints, right? The purpose for doing the fingerprints is you're going to do all four of these together, and then you're going to do this one separately, right? In the end, they would have captured all five appendages. The reason why that is because each of these digits are different. They have a different print. Same as you. You are completely different. Even though you're on the same hand, you have different print, different skill set, different uniqueness. And I need you to tap into that. And I want you to discover your uniqueness. Build on that. If you need help with that, I would love for you to leave a comment. I need you to click on the link below and go to andrewguyspeaks.com/, and check out our new program that is coming to help build you as a resilient individual. So check out the link below, click on the link below, and above all, I want you to subscribe. Subscribe to us. If you're not a family, if you're not a tribe, subscribe. And we are going to be sending you some information to help you so you can win where you are, so you can create your greatest impact where you live, where you work, and where you play. Again, visit andrewguyspeaks.com to pick up a copy of this book, The Work Mindset Journal. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you again. Peace.